Welcome back, guys. It's Maury, and today I'm going to be bringing you some fantastic knife lineups that you can use with Kayo on every single map. These are going to be specific knives that obviously if you wanted to with Kayo, you could just throw the knife at the wall and you get some good intel. A lot of the time though, your knife gets shot out. These lineups are going to show you how to put the knife in places where the team won't even know where it landed. All they're going to know is they've lost their abilities for a few seconds and you're pushing in with all the intel. Let's dive in. Alright, so if you're attacking A site, what you can actually do is come to this little corner. You can see this grey section right in front of me, right here. And if we walk slightly forward, you see a dark section of the roof appear. If you aim with the knife, throw at the dark section, it goes all the way to the back wall of A, where people like to sit. It's going to scan all of the main sections where people will sit on A site and give you a lot of information as to how many defenders are on the site. So if you're defending on A site, something that you can actually do is head straight to this box right here and basically line it up so it's basically touching your left leg. You want to leave the tiniest little gap and aim for the bottom of the dark grey section on the wall. Simply throw. That's going to go all the way to the back wall like a Sova dart would, and scan those back two doorways to see if anyone is pushing. The people attacking can defend it if they hug the very left hand side of the wall, but at least if you pick up one or two people, it's going to give you some good information. An alternative knife would just be simply to throw straight at the right hand side, which would scan the right doorway, but then you're going to miss anyone who is pushing on the left. On B site for Icebox, there are stars in the sky, and we have this little section of, I don't know what you would call this. What would you call this? Platform. We'll go with platform. So you have this little section of platform which you can stand right in the corner just near spawn. You're going to look straight up in the air and you have all these stars right here. There is basically a line right here where all the stars start to disappear, and there's a very faint but big blue one. It's the biggest star, and if you aim straight at that, throw in the air, that's going to land perfectly on B site. So if your team's rushing in, you're going to have everyone without their abilities on the opposing team basically defenseless as you push in. If you're defending on B site and trying to work out if they are coming from B main, something that you can do right here is there's this silver line against the wall. You can stand at the bottom of it and it creates this little gap right here. If you aim at this section right here, the dark brown basically color is what you're aiming for. Throw, that's going to land in B main and scan the main entryways to let you know if anyone's coming. Now you could just stand right here in B main and actually just hurl it down there to get the same result, but you run the risk of getting shot in the face. For attacking on A site, you want to walk straight into the corner right next to this pot here out in garden. You want to use the little Kayo knife indicator, the little icon, and you're going to look for, you see the little ornament that's hanging in the tree right here. We're going to go across to the light bulb next to that, and then up to the furthest left piece of greenery on the tree. We're going to line our knife up with that, and we are going to throw. That's going to land just behind the box in the center of A site, which will scan all of A site plus heaven to let you know where everyone is. Now on Haven and A site on the defense, we have this perfect little knife that you can throw into a lobby to know whether anyone is pushing A site. I do this all the time when I'm playing, and you'll see 4 or 5 people and you know straight away, okay, it's an A push. Your team can start heavily rotating, obviously watching mid to make sure they don't double back when you do that. But simply what you want to do is come to the left hand corner of the window, and there is this little, I guess you'd call triangle right here, and on the edge right here is where you want to aim. Throw the knife, that's going to land on the lobby roof and scan some of A garden as well. Alrighty guys, for attacking B, we are going to use this nice little lineup right here. You can see there is all these archways, in the middle archway right here. Line it up with this brown pole right here. We're going to aim in the archway here, get our knife out, and simply throw. That's going to land right on the B of the B site, scanning the room. Alright guys, so for B, to get early information to see if they're going to be pushing mid, you simply stand in the archway which would go into A site right here. We're going to use the icon of the fragment. Specifically on the bottom left, there's what looks like a Nike tick, and if you line that up with the second light bulb that's right here, we can now throw, and that's going to land perfectly in B site right before they push and cover both doors, both window and the doorway into the courtyard. So for attacking on C, if you're in your spawn area, you come right to the wall right here. We are going to aim the left-hand side of our ultimate icon up with the lowest rock that we can see on the left-hand side of the mountain. Simply throw, and that's going to land right in the middle of C site. For defense, if you're standing at CT, you're about to come in and go into the C site. What you can do is just jump on this cord right here on the corner. We are then going to use the icon of our flashbang grenade and touch the left-hand tip of it to the right-hand tip of this right-hand flag. And we're going to throw. It's going to stick into the roof. Slightly further out. And there we have the lineup. If you're in a lobby out the back here near the bell, you can simply jump on this rock. This is actually a brimstone post-plant molly lineup that I use, which also works for Kayo, which is fantastic. So this is going to land right on default plant, which is the right-hand pyramid if you're attacking. You simply want to aim straight at this greenery here. It's the highest point of any of the greenery, this little leaf that comes out. Throw it right there, and that's going to land on the right-hand pyramid. Okay, for A site, guys, you simply want to come to the left pyramid right here. You are going to aim at this little box, which is right here. You want to aim at the top of it, simply throw, and that is going to scan most of the A cave. For attacking B, if you come to mid cannon, which is this destroyed cannon right here, we can simply hop in the corner, and we're going to use the little star on the top right-hand corner of our fragment icon. We're going to line that up with where the black shadow is of the cannon. We're going to go to the very right-hand side of that, throw, and that is going to scan that little elbow that people like to hide on B site. All right, guys, if you are trying to defend B site, simply stand right here next to the steps out the back where some people like to hide, near elbow. And we're going to aim just above this little window that's notched into the wall right there. So we're going to aim about here and simply throw, and that is going to scan majority of the mid cannon area where people like to pull up, as well as where they start to push in towards elbow. And if they've already pushed through into the courtyard, they're in front of us and there's, say, a smoke in the way or whatever, we can actually see that. And if you're not sure where the window is because someone has smoked it, you can look up at the little gap right here. It's in line with that, and you just got to get used to the height to throw it at, and you're good to go. For attacking on A site, what we want to do is find this little motorbike slash bicycle right here. We are going to get against the front handlebars right here, and we're going to use directly on our knife logo. You can see the little white dot at the bottom right above my keybind, which is 6, and we're going to line that up with the dot on the tower. Throw, that's going to land and scan all of lamps, as well as anyone who may be just lurking near default plant. All right, on bind, specifically defending A, if you come into this corner directly below heaven, you go as far into the corner as you possibly can. We are going to look at this tower, the little light that is right here on top of the tower, but we are going to use our KO knife icon. So you'll line it up with the bottom of like the explosion wave that's coming off the knife, and we're simply going to throw, and that is going to land in a short cubby, which is going to just find anyone who's sort of loitering, waiting to maybe push around the corner, especially if they're slow pushing. You're going to get that information. Alrighty, guys, a good lineup for B when you're attacking is to actually come up this way from spawn. There's this section where the two rocks meet for either path. You're going to hop right on the corner here. And then we have this archway in front of us, and you can see the archway goes like this. You want to aim for the inside of it right here at the peak, and we're going to use this section right here of the KO 0 point icon. So the top of the knife on the icon, we're going to line up right here like so, and we're going to throw, and that should land on top of the box right in the middle of B site, scanning most of site and a tiny bit of hookah. For defending B site, to get early information, you can see where the ramp starts to come up here when you're coming from CT or spawn, and you want to get on the line where it starts to have the incline. From there, you want to use on the top left hand corner of the fragment logo, you want to line it up with that little tip that kind of looks like the scar on Harry Potter's head. You want to line that up with this section right here where this metal pole meets this the top of the wall right here, and we are going to line it up like so and throw, and that's going to scan where people line up to push into hookah. Now we're on fracture and A site attacking specifically, and what is fun about these ones is we have some super simple lineups because we are throwing them straight from where we spawn. So if you are pushing through dish and you want to scan A and see how many people are there, simply stand in the corner of this rock right here. We are going to use the logo of our knife to line up right with this, where this grey line here meets with this big grey section here, near the K looking logo that's on the wall. We're going to throw, and that's going to land right near where default plant would be and scan the whole site. If we were pushing A site from the opposite side, if you hop in this corner right here at spawn, and we're going to look where this pole meets the back wall that it is attaching to, so right here. And what we're going to do is pull the 0 point out. We're going to line the top of our knife icon up with that and throw. That's going to land in the exact same spot it did on the other side. Now with fracture, you have obviously two different routes and you could be on either side when you're pushing either site. This also opens it up because the sites are in the middle of the map rather than at the opposite end, rather than necessarily needing defense lineups. Like if you're on B site, you can simply just throw the knife down here to see if someone's pushing, and you can simply throw your knife into arcade to see if someone's pushing. You don't really need lineups, but if you use the attacking lineups for when you're retaking, so let's say that they planted A, I'm going to wrap through spawn anyway, and then I would use the A attacking lineups to actually use for retaking. All right, if you are pushing from B site, you can simply come into the corner here and then look at this wall here, and you want to start walking around until you line this section up with this wall right here, like so. Then we're going to use the little white section of the fragment logo, which is right in the top left hand corner, and we are going to line it up with this little black shade on the wall right here. Throw, and that should land middle of site and scan majority of the site. All right, for the other side at B side, you want to hop in this corner next to the box and the little half wall, wedge yourself in here, and then what we're going to do is use the bottom of our ultimate ability, and we're aiming it right at this point right here. So we're going to put the little arm, the point of that top arm on the right hand side right there. We're going to throw, and that'll stick to a pole right above default plant on B site. For A site, you can land one right on the elbow heading up to heaven, and simply to do that you want to use the white line between your fragment and your 0 point knife. What we're going to do is go up to where you see this black line join with this white logo right here, and we are going to use, as I said, the right hand side of the white line between our two middle abilities. We're going to throw, that knife's going to go flying up, land on the elbow, and they're going to have a very hard time shooting that out because they're not going to see it coming. If you want to rotate into A and throw a knife that is going to show you whether anyone is hiding on site before you do the rotation, you can come to this corner right here. We are going to use the left green bar of our fragment grenade, and we are going to aim it right here on this wall right here, like so, and then throw your knife. That's going to land middle of sight and show you whether anyone is there. On A site, guys, you want to start near screens, go into the corner right here below the drop from heaven, and what we are going to do is use again the logo from our knife. We're going to look up to this point, which is right here. We're going to go across to here, and we are going to throw it right at that point right there. So using our knife, the top of our knife to line it up, that's going to land on the wall, preventing the enemy team from actually shooting the knife, and you get really good info. For B site, if you're attacking, trying to basically help your team push onto site, you can come here, line up with this bike right here, get stuck here, and we are going to look straight up. There is a little piece of corrugated iron that comes right here. This is what we're aiming for, but we want to aim a little bit below it just so the knife doesn't hit the roof. We're going to throw that. It's going to land on site and show us where majority of people are. Okay guys, for B site, we are going to be in this very back corner next to this plank of wood, and what we're going to be aiming at is on this tower right here. You see the line that joins here, and then there's like a dot here, which when you're zoomed out almost looks like a bullet hole. We're going to be aiming right at this point here, but we're going to use the top left hand corner of the frag grenade to do it. So we're going to, the logo of the frag grenade, the top left hand corner, the point that looks like Harry Potter's forehead, We're going to line that up there, throw that, and that's going to land in lobby, basically getting everyone who is ready to push into garage. When attacking A site, what you can actually do is come up the back here under this lantern, and we are going to use our 0-point knife to aim right at the bottom of this peak right here, this lowest point here. We're going to use the top of our 0-point knife like so. We're going to throw, and that's going to land basically hitting heaven, which is going to scan some of heaven, some of hell, and a little bit of the outer areas of the site. If you head up here into heaven, get in the corner right here, we are simply going to use our crosshair for this one, which makes it nice and easy. And we're going to aim right in the middle of this band right here where it curves around. If you aim straight there in the center, throw your knife, it sticks to it. If you aim slightly to the right, it's going to go past, land in the courtyard where they all group up to push A site. So if you're in B lobby, you can actually get in this corner right here next to the octopus painting. And what we are going to do is look at the top of this tower right here. We've got this pole. And if we put the green bar, the left-hand side of the green bar below our fragment icon at the tip of that, and throw, that's going to land right on top of the roof, perfectly centered basically where the button is to close the door. It's going to... I just choked. Scan most of the site. Yeah, but you won't choke with this. This will work. A good throw that you can do from the back of B, where you're basically in CT, is use this tower as a reference point. And what we're going to do is keep stepping around until the point of this tower right here at the top, this top point, is just about to disappear. When it's just about to disappear, we are going to use this top brick that is sticking out, and we're going to use the point of the top left-hand point of the fragment grenade to line up with that. And we are simply going to throw. That's going to land on the roof right near B lobby, scanning most of lobby where they basically group up to push into B main. That's it for this video, guys. I hope that it gave you some really good insights into some of these lineups that you could incorporate into your gameplay when playing Kayo. I'm going to be doing a guide for all of the different agents with their different setups, no matter whether they're a duelist and it's pushing onto site, whether they are a controller and it's where to smoke and how to set up to get your team onto site or hold a site once you've taken over. Whatever the case is, whatever agent you decide to play, I'm going to be making a guide for them, so consider subscribing if you aren't already. But until next time, guys, keep gaming.